All right, hello, hello. This is the first time I'm doing this. A little short interview with our guest here, Kamau
Hargrow.
Hargrow. See, this is my first time. And your show,
Soliloquy.
Soliloquy. It's hard to say.
It is.
Yeah. But okay. Let's start off with our first question. Coming into your show, you have two, and also reading your artist, you have two distinct styles here. You're working with printmaking and painting, two styles you're pretty much excelling at. But entering into your show, it was a lot. Like the presentation really hits you in the face. Like your walls are just covered in print with a painting as a focal point, which had me thinking whether when combining those two styles, printmaking and painting, is the effect like additive or multiplicative? What I'm trying to say is, should we be reading or could we be reading the painting as a focal point extending out, or was your intent for us to digest the entire wall as a sort of piece of art here?
I'd say a little bit of both, honestly. I did want the paintings to be the focal point, but the prints are there to distract you. And so the wall is technically the entire artwork, but I see it as both separate and also the same.
Separate and also the same. I get it. So what do you think is sort of like, what's distinguishing them? Besides obviously the media style, what do you think is sort of dividing them and like bringing them all together?
Dividing them, honestly, it was just using two different mediums and also different sizes.
That's you, right? 12 by 12 and, like you said, 32 by 28.
24.
24.
Yeah, and so, yeah, size, and then also I didn't want to do like maximalist for the paintings, but I intentionally tried taking out as much detail as possible for the prints. And so there's also that kind of dichotomy.
Dichotomy is the right word.
There we go.
Yeah.
The other way that I wanted to try to like separate them, but again, kind of combine them together, was the actual color use.
Right.
And so
yeah.
I wanted the paintings to be these super colorful,
Very bright.
themes. Yeah, exactly. But I wanted the prints to like go into the background pretty much.
Yeah.
But still, didn't want the prints to be like jarred. So like instead of using straight out of the can black, I like made my own.
You made your own print.
Yes, exactly. And so I wanted to make my own black basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so I waited cool to try to like bring out the paintings more.
Yeah. Okay. I see the effect that you're trying to do. I get it. All right. On to our second question. So, also, part of your process, it's very self-reflective, right? Right. And that's, I'm not gonna. It's very common in a lot of people's art practices. My own, some of your friends, but you have your own like distinct style to it. It's not just like just everyday process, but you also draw on images from the past as well. And taking through that history, are there any is there any like core character elements of yourself or core memories that really are kind of like driven into your art and your artistic process or the exhibit itself?
Something that I realized throughout my time here was originally when I got here, I wanted to make these not photorealistic, but like very naturalistic. Could potentially be like a picture.
You mean like
drawings.
like Renaissance-inspired drawings or whatever,
Basically,
like
yeah.
pushing for that realism. I get it.
Exactly.
But a lot of artists had that little phase.
Exactly. But throughout my time here, and just like quickness of classes, most of the time I just wasn't able to achieve that other than like my dedicated drawing classes. And so at first I thought it was just like I can't do this fast enough, I'm not good. But again, throughout my time here, I've just been more and more leaning towards like where you can see the mark making. And so I think potentially that sort of quickness is something that I've been subconsciously doing for a while, because that's honestly how I sketch too.
So
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I'm reading it as sort of like the pressure from college classes or courses or whatnot. They've kind of accelerated your process or the style at least.
The quickness of college made me realize that it is important for me to like sit down and like take my time on stuff. But only to a certain degree. I can't just, for me, I have to make things kind of quickly, or at least ignore everything else that I don't care about, and then just focus on like the one thing that I care about and like whatever I'm doing.
You've been able to compartmentalize.
Yeah, and so again, I got diagnosed with ADHD I think like a year or two ago. So I don't remember. But having that kind of
Brain chemistry.
yeah, just constantly thinking this stuff like a lot of the time, a lot of the stuff I do it is physical, even though sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be. Long-winded saying, just like the quickness of my work is something that I didn't think about as when I first got here. But paying attention to me and just like throughout my life in general, things being quick for me is important.
And yeah, now moving on to our final question. So, going back to like your exhibit, it's presentation-wise, it's very what I would describe as a little bit mechanical, right?
Okay.
And I would guess that's sort of reflective of the printing process in general, right? It's a very I remember printing courses very labor intensive. Go back and ink over, and you understand, right? And I guess speaking more towards, I can see that like through the presentation, that sort of process, that style. But speaking more so on your painting style, how do you think has that gone on to influence the presentation aspect of your exhibit? Like how you tackle painting rather than printmaking.
Honestly, I tackle them now. If you were to ask me last semester, it'd be very different. But now I tackle them the same way, honestly. Again, going back some for my paintings, I intentionally wanted to like again show brushwork, and then just like making it like as fast as possible. But for me, repetition in a lot of the stuff I make is surprisingly important. A lot of the stuff that I gravitate to medium-wise are very you do the same thing a lot. You don't have to for most of the stuff, but I enjoy just I'm doing this thing for X amount of time, and I'm just like repeatedly doing just whatever. And so for my paintings, once I got like the base layer down, and like how like after I worked more like different paintings, and I knew like generally what I wanted. For me, what was important was just like brushwork, making sure it looked okay, brush, look back, cool, brush, and just doing that over and over again.
Yeah. Okay, I see it. I see what you're saying. All right then. That's all the questions we have for now. You'll definitely get some actually like during the exhibit, whether from me or other people. But I'll keep the main word in mind is repetition.
Exactly.